में अपना भी आप कैसे आपका इंटरव्यू होगा वो आप सोचना है, ठीक है? आई हैंड ओवर संभवी टू यू सर।
Okay, thank you.
Jain sir.
Jan Sambhavi, how are you?
Sir, I'm all good.
Are you all relaxed and comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have been to SSB earlier.
Yes,
But
sir.
I think what we'll do a little bit of chat about the SSB for benefit of others before we start the interview. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So, basically, any interview is an informal conversation between the candidate and the assessors. There can be one, there can be more than one in the panel as well. But this is the aim. And the aim is to extract information. In our case, in the SSB, what information are we looking for? It is the OLQs. So like in other techniques, in this technique also, we are assessing the candidate for the 15 OLQs which you must have been taught. Okay, now there are certain before the interview, during the interview and after the interview. So first we'll cover up before the interview. Now before the interview, it is very important that you pay attention to the briefing which is given for filling the PIQ. The PIQ is an extremely important document. Therefore, make sure that when you are filling the PIQ, the details are factual, there is no overwriting, and it is neatly filled. Lot many times I have seen people are filling PIQs, asking somebody else, यार तू क्या लिख रहा है? अच्छा मैं भी लिख देता हूँ. Now whatever you are going to write there, you need to have adequate information on that. The interviewing officer will like to check on the authenticity of the inputs which you have put into the PIQ. Okay. So the first important thing is the PIQ. Then what comes next? Comes next is your where you present yourself. Okay. Like now somebody is sitting with a nice light colored shirt, the tie is tied, tucked in nicely. So this is the way one should be. Even if you don't wear a tie, it is not that it is going to affect your performance. But if you are wearing a tie, then make sure that you have checked before that your top button is intact and your tie is pulled up. On odd occasions, I have seen a candidate entering with the tie, 2 to 3 inches below. It used to be like what you see in a Hindi movie, actor walking into a bar or something with the tie hanging loose. Don't do that. Make yourself presentable. If you have to go immediately after the, sometimes the outdoors, then make sure that you dust yourself, wash your face, comb your hair. That's the maximum you can do. When you are sitting outside, relax. Your number may come after 2 or 3 people. Don't make the fatal mistake of asking कि जो बाहर आएगा तेरे को क्या पूछा, क्या जवाब दिया. Your जवाब and his जवाब will have a different meaning. Be natural, be just relaxed, and when your turn comes, just take 2 deep breaths and whosoever you believe in, take his name and enter. Once you enter, that nervousness is definitely there, but try to enter with a smile. Go and stand by the side of your chair, whether you stand on the side or you stand in front, really doesn't matter. But stand there and wish. Important thing is that make sure you wish correctly. This is the first time you're going to open your mouth. Don't go at 10 o'clock and say good evening, sorry sir, good afternoon. If you know it is morning, make sure that you wish correctly. And after that you will be asked to sit down, say thank you. And when you sit towards the back of the chair so that your back is upright. Arms you put wherever you are comfortable, maybe on the armrest or maybe on your lap or maybe on your thighs. Wherever you are comfortable, try to make yourself comfortable. Once you have settled down, then the important part of body language is the eye contact. since you are sitting far off, you are fully exposed, meaning the interviewing officer will see you top to bottom. Doesn't matter. Your main intention during this interview for body language is to maintain eye contact. Keep looking into the eyes of the interviewing officer throughout the interview. Since you are sitting quite far off, obviously it is understood that you are going to have to speak loudly. So you must speak loudly and you must not speak in a flat tone. Do you understand what is a flat tone? A flat tone is, if I tell you, do not speak loudly, make sure that your voice is going up and down. This is called a flat tone. When emphasis is required, emphasize. And the important thing is that if you speak loudly, the last part of your sentence doesn't get cut. Okay, now we come to the interview per se. The questions, initially when you go, the interviewing officer will make you comfortable. How does he make you comfortable? He will ask you something with which you are familiar or about an activity which you have undertaken. So when you go there, you are apprehensive, but now he asks you, tell me about yourself, how was your journey, how have you been preparing yourself, tell me about the place you come from, anything like this. So now it is an opportunity for you to make yourself comfortable, and therefore you must present yourself in such a way that you are aware of a thing which you have already done or familiar. Go into details, keep covering, go in an organized manner. Now it is a two-way communication. One, from your own point of view, when you hear your own voice, the interviewing officer will normally not interrupt, he'll keep nodding, okay, good. So you find that your confidence level is gradually going up. To the interviewing officer, it is a first impression. How familiar are you with your surroundings? How organized you? How good is your communication? So on and so forth. The interview is basically checking your thought process, which is coming out in the form of words. If you are fluent, please carry on, speak in English, but make sure whatever you're thinking is coming out in your words. Wherever you are stuck, don't hesitate to speak in Hindi. Speaking in Hindi is not negative. You can keep mixing, and that's what they call English, which is a mixture of Hindi and English. But do not stress your mind looking for the right sentence or say something which is different from what you're thinking because of your communication problem. The questions are going to be bunched. Therefore, it will be a package of 4 or 5 questions. So first, listen very carefully. Then, remember the questions and then answer the questions. If you can answer in the same sequence, it's very good. If you can't, it doesn't matter. But make sure that you answer as many of these questions as you can without being behind. Especially in the first CIQ when you are fresh. Okay? So you must have your own way of keeping a track of how many questions were asked and how many are you answering and what could be left. The next thing is the details. The questions, some of them will have why, some will have give reason, some will have I would like to know about. So whatever it is, your assessment and your marks are dependent upon the detailed input you provide. No details, no marks. But important thing is the details should be relevant to the question asked. Okay, if I'm asking you A and you are telling me about M, then that is not what is expected. You should be giving inputs, you should be giving details to the inputs that have been asked. Do not tell lies. If you do not know anything, gracefully accept it, but make sure before you go for final interview, you update yourself so that if the same question is asked and you answer it, your probability of success goes up. Okay, but it cannot be that, every time I ask something or the interviewing officer something and the candidate responses, I'll find out, sorry sir, I'll do this. So this can be an odd or two places, but everywhere if you are answering them, might as well, you know what is going to happen. You have to come prepared. Another observation which I have been observing lately is in relation to the word test. Test implies, what does best mean? Let's hear from you, Samvi. What is the meaning of best?
So best means like something that is better than everything else.
Okay, correct. So now if I ask you your best friend, can you have 10 best friends or can everybody be your best friend?
No, sir. It's only one person or max to max two.
So now you are getting the clue. So this is an observation which I don't know for some reason is coming up lately, that people find that everybody is their best friend. It cannot happen. So whether whatever is in relation to best or thing you like most, you have to be selective. It is expected that your mind should be able to discriminate. Okay. So these are the main issues which you must pay attention to before commencement of the interview and some of the briefings. If you pay attention to these little details, it will be fine. Now we will start with the interview per se. Some will be no questions to be asked in between. Continue the way you would in the actual SSB interview. After the interview is over, I'll give you a debrief. Then you can clarify your own doubts. And thereafter, if anybody else has doubts, we will continue with those as well. So, somebody tell me about your NCC days. Why did you join NCC? What is the motto of NCC? And you did your A certificate. What all subjects did you cover? How did you enjoy any camp you attended?
So starting with NCC, so I did NCC back in my class 8th and 9th. So I completed my A certificate, and something that inspired me to join NCC was I have seen my seniors in school and the way they were disciplined, and I have heard that NCC is enjoyable also, like you do a lot of fun activities in camp. So that is what motivated me to join the NCC. So the motto of the NCC is unity and discipline, and it was established on 16th of July 1948. Sir, moving towards, I did one camp during my school days. So it was in Parvalia, Bhopal itself, and we did many fun activities there. So one of my most memorable activity was the firing. For like it was a 10-day camp, and I went to firing out for like 6 days out of 10 days. And the last day, I also remember the last day, sir. The Bada Khana wala din, sir. It was like fantastic, and we did, sir, a lot of activities. We did drills. Regularly we did drills. So something that I learned from there was adapting into very new people. So I only knew 5-6 people from my school. Other than that, so everybody else, every friend I made over there was a person from different schools, some seniors, some juniors. So that is something I've learned from NCC is adaptability. So unfortunately I could not continue with NCC in my college because during the time of my NCC recruitment, I was in Delhi for my medicals, and therefore I could not join NCC in college.
So these friends which you made there, was it Tata Bye-Bye there or are you in contact with them subsequently as well?
So we stayed in contact for like next 2-3 years, but then everybody got busy in their lives, and since some of them were not even from Bhopal, so it was very difficult to stay in contact. Also that time, neither of us had our own phones, like it was with parents' phone numbers, so we lost contact eventually.
Lovely. And what are the different firing positions and which one did you fire on?
Sir, there are 3 types of firing position in NCC. So the standing, kneeling and the prone, that is the lying one. Sir, I majorly fired from the kneeling position.
Okay, and did you hit the target or they went haywire?
No sir, I hit the target. Sir, I was, during my camp, sir, I was one of the best firers in the JW wing from my battalion.
Lovely. What was the range at which you fired? How many yards or meters?
Sir, it was around 50 meters.
Okay. So, suppose I was to come to Bhopal, what all would you show me in Bhopal and around the place on a trip for 3 days?
So for a 3 days trip, So I would start from the morning. I would start with the Van Vihar because it opens around 6:30, and it's a beautiful place if you want to visit it during the morning. So it's 10 kilometers to and fro. If you come back from where you have started itself, that is from the Lakeview side, we can visit the Lakeview and the Bada Talab there. But if not there, we can go to the next side to the Kerwa Dam and visit the Sar Sapata. So other than that, other than the Van Vihar, sir, if you are interested in a little bit of hiking, sir, we can go to the like Manuavan Tekri. Instead of taking the ropeway, we can climb up there by foot. It's exciting, sir, and we can
Okay,
watch.
places around,
Sir,
two places around.
Sir, we can go to Bhimbetika and the Raisen Fort.
Okay, and what local food would you take me for?
Sir, local food, sir, near the Ratnagiri bypass. Sir, there's this one Bada Pav wala, and he makes very good Bada Pav there. And I'll take you to Old Bhopal for poha, jalebi, and chai.
Lovely. So I'm sure I'm going to have a nice trip with you, Sambhavi. So we'll now first talk about your education, and we'll start from class 10 onwards. Okay?
Yes, sir.
The overall percentage of marks that you've scored in each class up till now, in your academic career, what has been your most favorite or liked subject? And there would be reasons for that. Similarly, who has been your most admired or favorite teacher? Once again, there will be reasons for that, which I would like to know. Then we'll talk about your friend circle, how big is it, and amongst them, somebody would be your best friend. What is the reason for considering him or her to be so? Those details. Then we talk about the extracurricular activities that you participated in, any position of responsibility that you held, and finally, if there was a subject you were not interested in or the teacher did not impress you, those details as well.
Okay, sir. So to start with my 10th standard, so I scored a percentage of 93.4 in class 10, a score of 81% in 11, and 91.4 in class 12. So my favorite subject up till, not up till 10th, but overall in school, used to be English literature, and I was fond of mathematics since my father was a maths teacher. So he always told me to study maths, and earlier I was weak. So eventually I grew fondness of it. So moving towards my college, my current CGPA in college is 8.13, and the subject I like the most in college are deep learning, machine learning, and the generative AI. These are also my specification. So moving towards my favorite teachers. So my favorite teacher in school was Miss P. Shushila. So she was my mathematics teacher in class 11th and 12th, and also my class teacher in class 12th. So she is a very kind lady, so first of all to begin with, and she always helped us. Like you can text her at night that ma'am I have this doubt, and she would clear your doubt at that moment, if not possible at that moment, in the morning eventually. Sir, like my 11th-12th was during the COVID time, so 30% of the syllabus was cropped off. But ma'am taught us that 30% as well, and she used to take extra classes during week offs as well or summer vacation. So at that time, it really used to pisses us off that why is ma'am taking extra classes on the holidays. But later in life, we realized that it helped us through various competitive exams and in college, because our foundation base of those subjects is very clear, because she never skipped any topic in teaching. And so moving towards my college, so my favorite teacher in college was Mr. K.K. Thakur. Sir, he was my class mentor in semester 2nd. Sir, during my semester 2nd, sir, I was busy with my NDA SSB as well, and I skipped a lot of classes. I could not go to the college, and I also skipped some of my final exams. So he helped me a lot with those places, like with the attendance and with the assignments and all. And he always motivated me, and he always treated me like his younger sister. He's always motivated me that he always said ki you focus on your dream, let the college is always there, doesn't matter if you don't score good in this semester, you focus for the NDA. So moving towards my friend circle, so I have 4 close friends from school and 4 close friends from college. So my school friends include Harsh, Nishant, Kanak and Enakshi. So my best friend among those is Nishant. Sir, Nishant is my best friend. So he's my best friend for like 11 years. We've met in class 5th, and ever since then I've been tying him Rakhi, so the bond grew even deeper. So he's a very disciplined person, like he's very self-disciplined in himself as well. and he always motivates me to work harder. Even when I'm like, it's rare, but sometimes if I feel down, I can confide to him and he'll always motivate me that it's okay, you can do much better. And he himself is a very hard-working person. So when you look at him working hard towards his goals, you feel motivated in yourself that like my friend is so hardworking, I should be also be a good friend and work towards our aim. And so my best friend in college, so my close friend group in college includes Kratika, Ambuj and Abhishek. Sir, my best friend among them is Ambuj Kumar. Sir, he is my best friend, sir, because he's a very ambitious person. Like into tech, sir, he is very knowledgeable and he is always keen on learning new things. Like if a technology is launched yesterday, he will be fully updated with it today, like what it is, why it is, where it is. So it like really encourages us to learn even more, like how knowledgeable he is and to be like him a little bit. So also that he is also quite motivating and I can also confide to him well. So he is also very kind-hearted person and he is always helping others whenever and wherever needed. So moving towards the co-curricular activities I did in my school time. So I played basketball for 3 years. In my 7th, 8th and 9th, I played inter-school and district levels. I represented my school in basketball. So other than that, sir, I have completed my NCC A certificate in school itself. So other than that, sir, I was house prefect for class 8, class 9 and class 10 and I'm sure that I would have been nominated again if it was not for the COVID years. And I also volunteered at many places during annual functions and took part at many annual functions as well. So other than that, I have also participated in Hindi debate in my school, to which I have scored the first position, and another debate to which I was the runner-up. So moving towards the extra co-curricular I did in college. Sir, I participated for the basketball, but unfortunately I could not qualify for the team. I told you already about the NCC, what happened with the NCC. Sir, and I have participated, other than this, I have participated in debates. I have won first prize in one of the debates and the runner-up in the other. And I have also participated in open mic and poetry competition. So moving towards the subject I did not like so much. Sir, in my school, up till 10th standard, I did not like social studies. So there was not that I hated the subject, just that in college school examinations, we had to write so much in social studies and I hated the part that for one answer you are making us write so much, like if the question is about Chauri Chaura incident, you have to write everything you know about it. So that is why. And the another subject I did not like much in my 11th 12th was the chemistry. So this is because for every rule in chemistry there are more exceptions than actually the examples following that rule. So the subjects I did not like in college was mechanical and civil engineering. This is contrary to the fact that my favorite teacher in college used to teach us mechanical engineering, but I eventually could not start to gain a fondness of those subjects.
Okay, and you were happy with all the teachers?
Yes, sir. I have not met any teachers that I have not liked till now.
Okay, what is the secret of your consistency in your 10th and 12th to maintain a good 90%?
Sir, first of all, when you score good and you get rewarded, sir, first of all, that is my motivation, that my parents also become happy and they'll give me some reward. I'll get some reward from the institution. And overall, sir, it makes me really happy from inside that yes, I have worked hard for something and I have scored good for it. And so my previous results also motivate me now, that if I feel like okay, why should I study so much, कॉलेज ही तो है, निकल जाएगा, क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है. But then I look back at my 10th and 12th scores and I think it would not look good on my resume in any future, wherever I am going, that I have scored so good and then it's such a downfall. So that is what motivates me to keep working hard.
Okay, you represented district in basketball, it's an achievement. What are the dimensions of a basketball court and what is the height of the net for women?
Sir, the dimension of the courts are 15 meter by 28 meter and the height is around 3 meters or 10 feet, and it is common for women and men.
Okay, now this house prefect, what was the criteria and was it nomination or was it election, and what Do you think were the reasons you were given this appointment, and that too for quite a long time?
Sir, like our house prefect is selected every year. You need to nominate yourself every year. So, sir, first criteria is the academic criteria. You need to have minimum of 70 to 75% score in the previous class. Moreover, you need to be active in the co-curricular activities and the sports or whatever co-curricular activity you are doing, and you need to be a representative at some level in those activities. And on those basis, the teacher selects whoever fits the best.
Okay, so you was there any competition against you, or you was just the only sole
No,
candidate?
sir, there were many people.
Hmm.
There were many people, and two of us used to be selected every year.
Okay, this debate. What are some essentials to do well in debate? And if today we were to have a debate competition, from your experience, what would be the current topic which we can bring out for a debate competition?
Sir, some of the most essential things for a debate are, so first of all, knowledge. You need to be thorough with the topic you are speaking on, in both for and against. In whatever position you are speaking, you need to be thorough with both the position, I suppose. And other than that, you need to have confidence and the power of speaking. You need to know how you should be maintaining your tone and your expressions. Like, you should have an open body language because it's an open stage, everybody can see your body language, so you should maintain an open body language. So moreover,
Okay.
if a debate competition, a topic for debate competition today, sir, I believe it can be one party, one nation, one election. So I think it's a good topic, and recently there was some news around it, so I believe it would be a really good topic.
And if we were having a debate in that, would you be for or against, and why?
Sir, I could speak on both the places, but I would support it because I would speak in the for one party, one election, because it saves a lot of resources and the human power. If the one nation to conduct only one election, so it would save a lot of resources, lot of money that we are spending again and again on the elections. First on the Lok Sabha election, then on the Rajya Sabha election, then on the state election. So it would save a lot of money and also a lot of human power. That is, the police is deployed again and again for the election purposes.
Okay, understood. So, Sabi, your participation in debate, was it for the sake of participation, or it was the medal or the cup which was your motivation?
So for the very first time I participated in debate, it was in 9th standard. So that was because I could not find a house candidate from my house. So my house in charge said ki now you are going to participate in it, and then I really enjoyed taking part in debates. So I started taking part for my enjoyment because I really enjoyed it. I really liked taking part in debate. So the motivation for the cup or the medal was the secondary, but the first was that I really liked debate.
So the motivation was liking the debate, the cup didn't really matter.
Sir, I believe that working towards something matters more than the prize itself. Like, if I am working hard, that matters more. Doesn't matter whether I win or I lose, but what matters is if I am working hard for it or not.
You're very fortunate to have a good friend who helped you when you were feeling down. What type of things make you feel run down?
Sir,
Give me some examples.
So I usually do not feel down very easily. Like, if I am feeling down a little, so I don't even remember the last time I felt down because I am a very joyful person. I like to stay happy always. But the last time I felt a little down was maybe when I got merit out from the NDA. It was a little heartbreaking for me because I worked so hard for it. But then I talked to Nishant and I talked to Ambud, and both of them told me the common thing that whatever has to happen has already happened. The hard work never goes into vain. It will come back to you when you appear for your graduate entries. So work hard for the 3 backlogs you have gained during your SSB, the 3 exams you could not give due to the SSB. So work hard for them, and I eventually worked hard for those 3 exams and gave total of 8 exams in my 3rd semester and passed all with a flying score.
Great. So this skipping of classes and the exam, I couldn't really get what was the main reason.
Sir, this skipping of classes was I was preparing for the SSB, first for the written, So I did not went to college for last 15 to 20 days of the written examination because I wanted to give, that was my last attempt. So I wanted to prepare and give my everything into it. So I took that leave, and for the SSB sir, then my SSB dates and the college examination dates, sir, they collided, sir. My exams were from 28th of June and my SSB was from 29th of June. So I had to leave 3 examinations due to the SSB and medicals, and therefore I had 3 backlogs in those 3 subjects exams I did not give.
So you cleared your SSB and medical
Yes, sir.
and you were merited out.
Yes, sir.
Was it the written which was the factor? How much did you score in written?
Sir, the cutoff was around 300 and I scored a score of around 320 in written. Sir, I believe I could have done much better because most of the female candidates that got in the academy had a score of over 400, 450.
Okay, right. What do your friends generally think about you, and when you enter into some disagreement, what action do you take? How do you handle the situation?
Sir, my friends generally think that I am a kind-hearted person and I am always open to help. If anybody needs help, I am always there to help them. So they also think that I am a hard-working person, and if I have thought of something that this is what I want to do in my life, I will do it, and I will work everything, I'll use my everything, and I'll be disciplined just to achieve that goal. So they also think I'm ambitious in life and I know what I want to do in my life. I'm clear with my goals, and that is what they think of me. Other than that, they also think that I am opinionated, not in the false sense, but like if not everyone can convince me on everything they say. I have my opinion on things, and which is a good thing. Sir, if I get into a disagreement with somebody, so first of all, I stay calm, I'll take a deep breath, and I'll make them understand my point that what is the reason I think this way and why is the disagreement going on. So I prefer to solve disagreement by talking because it's the best way possible, and if the other person is getting like angry, I usually offer them water. Ki have water, get calm, and then we'll talk it out.
Okay, and even after that, sometimes it doesn't get resolved.
Sir, if it doesn't get resolved, if I cannot resolve it on my own, so I'll talk to their friend, the person I'm having disagreement with. I'll try to convince their close people that why I'm thinking this way. That maybe because the other person is not so familiar with me, that is why he or she is not being able to accept my point. But since if their own close friend or the person tries to tell them that they will accept it, nahi to sir, mostly the people accept it. I explain them very calmly. Even if it takes me 1-2 hours, I'll stay on it and I'll explain them.
Okay, and something your friends don't like about you, or they feel that you could be even doing better in.
Sir, first of all, something they think I'll be doing better in is my handwriting because I am habitual of writing birthday letters to my friend, and it is very difficult for them to read my handwriting. And something they want me to improve other than my handwriting is my sleep schedule. Sir, I follow a flexible schedule. I don't bind myself कि okay 8 hours की sleep ज़रूरी ही है तो 8 घंटे सोने ही है. If my sleep is according to the need of the situation, अगर college exam है तो I'll sleep less and I'll prepare for the exams. If something is there, like if I'm completing a project, I'll make time for it. So that is what they always say कि take proper sleep or नहीं तो in future you will face problems.
Okay, so let's try and understand what exactly is your routine. How do you spend your full day? The time you get up and the activities you keep undertaking till you go to sleep, and when and how is it different in situations like you explained just now?
Sir, like as I told you, sir, my schedule is quite flexible, but this is the general schedule that I'm going to tell you. It's the general tentative schedule that I follow. So since these days the 4th year in a college are not usually called to college and I'm home mostly. So my general routine during the days, I'll wake up around 5:30 or 6. I'll freshen up, I'll make myself coffee, and then I'll go on a morning run or morning jog, whatever I feel is good that day, around 6:15 or 6:30. Then I'll come back around 7:30 or 8, and I'll exercise a little bit, and then I'll have something, I'll wash my face, I'll eat something, and then I'll chat with mom a little bit. If she needs help in something, I'll help her out, and then I'll go and I'll sit for the studies. Whatever upcoming, if there is some upcoming exams or if I'm preparing for some competitive exam, I'll study for it. I'll study for 2.5 hours. Then I'll come downstairs. I'll take a shower. I'll cut fruits for my mom, and while the time I'm cutting fruits, I'll put the clothes in the washing machine. They'll wash up, and I'll hang them dry and fold the previous day's clothes. And then I'll have lunch with my mother, and I'll chat with her a little bit. And then after my mom goes to sleep, I'll scroll a little bit. I'll scroll my phone for 15-20 minutes, and then I'll get back to work. If I'm into project, like making some project or anything else, I'll do that. So otherwise it is my creative time. I'll read a little, or I'll write. Since I write poetries, I'll write a little. Or if I'm having some commissioned, I do commissioned sketching. If I'm having some orders pending, I'll complete that order. Sir, I'll do that till around 3:30, and then I'll wake my mother up for her yoga classes. And this is also a time when my father and my sister comes back from the school. So I'll make tea for everybody. I'll sit with them for 15-20 minutes. I'll chat with them a little bit, and then I'll come back to my room, and then it's my study time. I'll study, and I'll study till about 5:30 or 6, and if it's summer, up till 6:30. And then I'll call my friends, sir, since most of my school friends live in my neighborhood only. So I'll call them, we'll go out for a walk, I'll chat with them a little bit. Or since we are home most days, if my college friends are asking to go somewhere out, I'll go out with them a little bit. Or if nobody is free, I'll go out in my neighborhood and play with the neighborhood kids, whatever they are playing. If they are playing 7 stones, I'll play 7 stones with them. I'm playing whatever they are playing. If nobody is free, there is a 2-year-old kid in my neighborhood, sir. I like to play with her. She is very cute. So I'll play with her a little bit, and then I'll be back around 7:30 or 8, and I'll go to my room. I'll study a little bit. I'll revise whatever I've studied that day, and if any work of the day is remaining that I was supposed to do. And then by 9, I'll come downstairs. I'll help my mom with the dinner. So dinner time is also the family time, because it is the only time all 4 of us sit together and eat food. So it is usually longer, around 1.5 hours. After that, I'll help my mom in kitchen while she does the dishes. I'll clean the platform and clean the place where we have eaten the food. And after that, I'll prepare the bed for my parents. And when they go back to sleep, I'll read a little, since I'm habitual of reading book before going to sleep. I'll come back to my room, I'll read a little, and by 11:30 or 12, I'll go back to sleep. And so when I'm going to the college, if college has called us, so my routine, I'll wake up around 5:36, I'll go on running, but after running, I'll come back around 8, I'll take shower, I'll get ready, I'll have breakfast, and leave for the college by around 9:15. Then I'll come back from the college at around 6:30 in the evening, and after that, I'll wash my face, I'll chat with my parents.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So you don't seem to be fond of your sister. There is no interaction with your little sister.
No, sir, there is, but it's usually in the family time, and after my
Okay, let's continue talking about the family in detail.
Yes.
How many members are there? What is each one doing? The responsibilities you take, the decisions where you are consulted, the qualities which you think you inherit from your parents, about the similarities and differences between you and your sister. What is she better than you? What are you better than her?
So starting with my family. Sir, I live in a nuclear family, and my family consists of my mother, my father, and my sister. So my father's name is Mr. Deepak Sharma, and he's a teacher. So my mother's name is Mrs. Rajni Sharma, and she is a homemaker. And my sister's name is Tithi Sharma, and she is a student of class 9. Sir, for the responsibilities I hold at home, sir, I am usually in charge of washing the clothes and folding them dry, and if anything needs to be ironed, I'll be the one ironing it. And after that, I'll cut fruits for my mother, and generally I make tea during the evening for everybody. After that, after the dinner, sir, I am in charge of cleaning the platform and making the bedding. And other than that, since my father is usually busy, he takes coaching classes after the school. So if my mom wants to go somewhere to the hospital or to anywhere, I'll take her. wherever she wants to go. And if my sister has some work, like if she needs any project to be made, I'll help her with the projects or help her like whatever way. And that is for the responsibility I hold at my household. Sir, the things I inherit from my parents. Sir, I inherit my mother's look. I just look a ditto copy of my mother. And for the qualities that I inherit from my mother are the kindness, sir. My mom is a very kind person, and from my father, sir, I inherit the my hairs, like my hair are a bit curly, and that is a trait I inherit from my father. Other than that, sir, my father is also very fond of maths. He's a maths teacher. So that is the fondness towards the mathematics I inherited from my father, from my father's genes. And other than that, sir, I inherit my father is a very hardworking person. So this is a trait I inherited from him. Like he's always motivated. Like no matter how much is the work pending, he's having work, but he always make time for us, and he is always smiling. So these are also the trait I inherited from him. And other traits from my mother that I inherited is that my mom also does yoga. She is a very disciplined person when it comes to her fitness. So I have inherited this trait towards the fitness that no matter what the what the time is, what the situation is, I need to stay fit. So this fitness trait I have inherited from my mother, and other trait that I have inherited from my father is that he is a very practical thinker. He thinks rationally and he has a very practical approach. So just like so I have inherited this thing from my father.
Similarities and difference between you and your sister.
Sir. For the similarities, sir, me and my sister look alike, starting with the physical similarities. We just look a ditto copy of each other. Sir, other than that, sir, she's also like studying social science. I hated the subject because I had to write so much. So does she. She doesn't like writing, but she's fond of studying it just like I was. Sir, one of the major difference that we have is that she doesn't like mathematics at all, and I was very fond of mathematics. And she loves chemistry, like her 9th class chemistry, and I never liked chemistry. I was never fond of it. So the other difference is that other similarities that both of us are very confident and both of us are very opinionated. So even though my sister is in class 9, I feel that she has some solid opinion with some solid knowledge on the topic, and that is I find a good thing in her. And so these were the few similar things that and differences we have.
Maybe you've been only talking about goody things about yourself. Everything can't be goody. What are the situations when you get into a little trouble at home, the type of things you get scolded for?
Sir, I get scolded for a lot of things at home because I love to tease my parents a little bit. So I'll tease my sister, and then she starts crying. I'll get scolded by my mother that she is so younger than me. So we have 8 years of age difference. So why do you always keep teasing her? But sir, I believe that's some sisterly love I cannot do anything about. So sir, these are the things. So other things that I get scolded for is my timetable and eating habits. My mother always say कि घर का खाना खा लो. Like you will ruin your body if you do not eat homemade food. You are always going out and eating out. So that is also the thing I get scolded for. But other than that, sir, I don't do any such things at home that I get scolded for.
But nowhere did it avoid that you are eating junk food. Where do you go for junk food?
Sir, in college, sir, we go out, we go to canteen, we'll have outside food. If I'm coming back from somewhere outside, if I'm going out with the friends, we're going to eat out, and I'll come back and have that. If there's nothing, sir, me and my sisters order the food at home. We'll Zomato or Swiggy, and then my mother will scold me. Why do you keep ordering such things?
What type of subjects you like to write poetry on?
So what?
Poetry.
Sir, for the poetry, sir, I like to write from the experience, whether it's from mine or from the others. Like if someone is telling me about their experience in very deep, I like to write it on the paper as a narrative. Sir, my poetry subjects vary from like nationalism to pride towards the nation, towards emotional subjects like despair and
Okay, your favorite few lines.
from poetry. Sir, Sir, this is a romantic poetry and also it's in Hindi. Sir, it goes like उलझी हुई किस्मत के धागों में मोती पिरोने चले हैं, क्या करें हम, कुछ तेरे से होने लगे हैं, अब ना कुछ खाने में ना कुछ करने में जी लगता है, कमबख्त दिल बस तेरी ही राह को तकता है, न जाने क्या रिश्ता है जो छुड़ाए छुड़ाए ना छोड़े जा रहा है, ये बेहया वक्त है, यही बीतता जा रहा है, बीते
How
समय।
can you write all these things without experiencing these things?
Sir, I tend to write. I just, as I told you, I tend to write from others people experience as well.
Okay, so you're someone, one of your friends had a breakup or what?
Sir,
You write this, huh?
one of my friends had a breakup and she told me her story. And
Obviously, you can't be writing without somebody's experience.
No, sir,
Something on
somebody's
national
experience,
line,
sir.
national line, some 4 lines.
Sir, this is a poem I write. Its title is The War. Sir, its last few stanzas are as follows. Uh, Sir, I'll start from the beginning. I'm unable to remember
Yeah,
the
anything, just-
directly. Sir,
Yeah.
the war will get over and the leaders will shake hands, but there will be a wife waiting for a brave young man, and a mother standing in the state of confusion, whether to cry or be proud on a fearless brave son, and the father, a man who never cried, now weeping silently and showing a little eye, and the brother who awaits the return of his brother, a Raki present on drift, but no little does it bother, and the
Okay, very nice. So this was your own creation, huh?
Yes, sir. So the
Very
first
nice.
two
So
lines
where-
of these poems, the first 2 lines of these poems were inspired from a quote I read somewhere. I cannot remember where, but then the rest of the poem is my own.
So does it come naturally to you or you have to, because you have to rhyme it also, no?
Sir, I don't know how I write it actually. I just think of a line and I'll write it at that moment, and whenever I'm free, I'll sit, I'll think a little about it, I'll search for the words that rhyme with it, and then I'll naturally come up with whatever I'm writing.
Okay, Sadhvi, how have you become interested in defense? Actually, since the discussions we've had so far, there's nothing in defense in the family or in the background except a little bit of NCC. What is your motivation? What is so special that you are so keen to join defense?
Sir, I have completed my schooling from Army Public School, Bhopal, and since there are very few civil admissions, I was there because my father was a teacher in the same, and all of my friends from the school were from the army background, and whenever I used to go at their houses, I used to feel that discipline and that aura of the uniform, sir. I felt that okay, this is the life I want to live. How disciplined they are, how confident they are in their self. Whenever I used to talk to their parents, I felt that this is something I want to be in my life. So after that, when like I was in 6th or 7th, and our school showed us the documentary about life of an NDA cadet, and that was the time I decided that okay, this is what I want to do in my life, and defense is my calling.
Okay, right, so you've chosen now to join the Navy,
Yes, sir.
and that will be ATC branch.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what type of job you think you would be performing as an ATC officer in the Navy?
Sir, ATC mainly deals with managing the takeoffs, landing of the various naval helicopters, aircraft, and enrouting the flights on onshore and on the aircraft carriers using the various navigation tools, including the radars and the other tools.
Okay, different type of ships, where are the commands, how many of them are there? Who is the presently chief of the naval staff, what is the motto of the Navy, whatever you know.
Sir, so the motto of the Navy is Shamno Varuna, and that when translates to English is May the Lord of Water be auspicious upon us. Sir, the current CNS is by Admiral D.K. Tripathi, and there are 4 naval commands in India. So the Western Command headquartered in Mumbai, the Eastern Command in Vizag, the Southern Command or the Training Command in Kochi, and the last one is the Tri-Service Command in Port Blair. Sir, there are various types of naval ships, including the aircraft carriers, the destroyers, the corvettes, frigates, and most importantly, submarines. And on the aircraft carriers, Navy also includes deploys a lot of aircrafts and helicopters, which includes the fighter jets include the MiG-29K, Rafale Marine, the surveillance aircrafts include the Dornier 228 and Boeing P-8I Poizner.
Have you got the Rafale Marine?
No, sir, we have not yet gotten it. The deal was signed in the earlier of 2025, and the first 4 Rafale Marines would be delivered by the end of 2029.
Okay, and where is the training for the ATC officers done? What is the duration of training?
Sir, the duration of training is first 22 weeks. It's at INA Izimala, and after that we are sent to the Air Force Academy, Dundigal, for our specification, whatever branch we later pursue in the ATC.
Okay, right. So, how do you keep yourself updated on what's happening around, and can you update me on some current national and international issues which you think are important? 3 each.
Yes, sir. Sir, I keep myself updated through, I follow a few channels on YouTube, that is the Study IQ IAS, Network 24/7 and Daily Scoops with Purtika. They post current affairs on daily basis. Sir, first of all, starting with the nationalist issues. Sir, the first one being the SIR in Bengal. Sir, around 58 lakh people were removed from the electoral roll in the draft of the SIR, and it caused a lot of turbulence in Bengal, that people were like protesting that why have been removed, but it's not the final draft, so we are yet to see what is going to happen. And other than that, sir, other national issues including so recently a bill was passed from the parliament, from the Lok Sabha only, changed from Manrega to GRAMJI scheme, which stands for Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Mission, GRAMI. Sir, earlier Manrega used to provide 100 days employment, but GRAMJI would be providing it for 125 days. Sir, the Manrega started in 2005 and GRAMJI...
Okay, now if this is 125 and earlier was 100, beside the fact that the opposition is howling because the word Ram is included in that, what are the other factors because of which there is opposition to the scheme?
Sir, the entire the appointment committee would be under the central government. So the opposition is saying that you are just taking everything under yourself. Earlier it was used to be a divided committee. Sir, but I find the basis of the allegations to be useless, because it is a very good scheme and it is going to help nation a lot. It has a lot of new changes that are going to help. Like in the earlier Manrega, the work the workers were doing was not always productive. Just to show the work done, you could dig up the holes and tell them to fill up and then you will be paid. But now it is given that the work should be productive and it should have some outcome of it. Some
next
outcome. So for the next news, sir, there was another bill that was passed, that is the Shiksha Adhiksham bill, and it was introduced by the Union Education Minister, and it is not yet passed. It is waiting to be passed by the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So it says that in India right now we have various higher education bodies like UGC, AICTE and NET working the same thing but in different, and a lot of those things are overlapping with each other.
Okay, international.
So moving towards the international news, recently India and Russia had a bilateral summit where they signed the RELOS Pact and Vision 2030. RELOS stands for Reciprocal Exchange of Logistics and Support, which allows both the country to move forward in their Blue Water Navy mission and allow each other to use each other's naval bases and military bases and supports for the combined military exercises. So other than this, recently there was a Bundi Beach attack in Australia, Sydney, Australia. So the two main culprits was the Sajid Akram and the Naveen Akram.
Okay, update on Bangladesh.
Sir, recently there, after the impeachment of the president, the Prime Minister, sir, she is taking rescue under the India. And recently, one of the extremist party leader said on the open mic that they are going to cut off the India-Siliguri corridor. And to reply to which the Assam CM replied that it is not so easy. And I think that Awami Party was better at the rule because they were maintaining good relations with India, since India shares 90% of the border with the Bangladesh.
But you see, the Gen Z, as they call them, have created a lot of problems in Nepal and now in Bangladesh, and there seem to be serious efforts to do something similar in our country as well.
Sir, I think it is not going to happen in our country. So first of all, India's system is more secure and better. Like India follows a federal system, which was not the case with the Nepal. And Nepal, there is a lot more corruption than it is in India. And moreover, the Nepal government was not providing the youth with a lot of jobs. Like the main
Okay,
causes.
okay, Sambhavi, your own assessment, what do you think would be your assets or your strong points, and what would be some areas which you can improve and develop, and what are you doing for the development?
So my strengths include confidence. I speak with confidence, and even when I'm nervous, it doesn't really show up on my face. So the other thing is that I'm keen to learn new things. If in this interview I am unable to answer something, I'll go back and I'll look for it at the moment because I want to know what it is. I'm keen on learning new things. So the other two of my weaknesses are that first of all, my handwriting is not good, and like I'm trying to improve it. I write daily to improve my handwriting. So other is that even though I'm physically fit, but I'm not academy standard fit at the moment, and I'm trying to increase my run time and increase my stamina to be more fit.
Okay, for some reason, if you don't get recommended, then what do you do in this SSB?
Sir, first of all, I believe I will get recommended because of what I have prepared and what I have performed. I believe in myself. So, but if somehow I do not get in, sir, this is my first graduate entry attempt and I still have a lot of attempts left. I'll prepare harder, I'll analyze myself and prepare harder for the next attempt and I'll work on it. And if it's not possible in Navy somehow, I'll also have the attempts of AFCAT and CDS. I'll prepare for those forces.
Okay, so what are your alternate goals, and why no campus placement?
Sir, I did get a placement, so it was an out-campus placement. It was at Biopetrol Clean in New Delhi. But the joining was the immediate and they were not providing me with much leaves because I had AFCAT and CDS to give in the same month. And the joining was around 20th of August and I was to give AFCAT on 24th. And moreover, sir, they had a 2.5 year of service bond and I could not leave the company before that. They were also not providing me with the work from home service and therefore I thought that it is not good to take it at the moment and I should focus on my dreams. That would be the best.
Okay, Samvi, firstly, what exactly is the meaning of your name?
Sir, my name means possibility. It is derived from the Hindi word Sambhavta.
And do you live up to it?
Yes, sir.
But I'm not convinced that you are keen to learn about new things. How do you convince? You have a new interviewing officer, you don't know anything about him, neither are you keen to learn.
Sir.
Okay, with that we finish,
Okay, sir.
and the interviewing officer will at this stage tell you that he is finished, and if there is any question which you would like to ask. So normally you should say, no thank you sir, get up, good day and walk out. But some interviewing officers insist, nahi kuch to pucho. So you can ask something in relation to service, his experience, but don't make the fatal mistake of asking, sir, how have I performed or will I clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
with that we finish. First let me see whether the class was awake or not. The opinion of the class. Put the thumbs up, or if you are on mic, what do you think? This is a case fit, pass or not?
Pass.
Recommended.
Pass.
Okay. So that means the class was listening carefully. Right. So summary on the whole, we have finished this interview. It's very good. We'll go and fine tune some issues.
Yes, sir.
So the opening, obviously, you started off well, you came, you were confident. your communication has been good, your body language has been good. Now we'll dissect the interview stage by stage. So first question was your overall percentage of marks which you have covered appropriately and you can't change them also. Now the next question here you need to, before the interview we had said that there is only best means something which is different from what you are conveying. Number one. Number two, even if you have to, so in, I think numerically you brought out about 5 or 6 subjects which are your best subjects. So you need to prove. Number one. Number two, you made a very passing remark to your English and maths and even the other subjects. Now, what was my question?
Sir,
And
why?
And in the beginning itself, I told you your assessment is based on why.
Yes, sir.
Now, whether you like English because it is the most popular language, it helps you with competitive exams, it makes you feel more confident. You like maths because you feel it is more practical, you find it is more challenging, you find it helps you with competitive exams, you find it helps you with solving problems in other subjects, you find it used in day-to-day activities. So these reasons were not coming out. Similarly, you made some passing remarks to 2 or 3 subjects in your college as well. So first thing is you need to prove down. And second thing is, the second part is more important, which was why. Similarly, we came to the teacher. So the first teacher you brought out, yes, she was very kind and she was very helpful and she was quite supportive. So actually, let's just talk in general. Then it's up to you. What do you see in a teacher now? First thing is, anybody you like should not have any personal gains. It should not happen that he was motivating me, was helping me, was guiding me, unless it is your personal tuition teacher. If it's another teacher, then you have to first generalize and then come to your own. That he was a very helpful person. Anybody required help, she was or he or she was always available. Like in my cases, when I missed my classes because of this reason, I was stuck and without any hesitation, I could approach and he would help me clearing my doubt. So it should be not your personal helping. So basically in a teacher, what all do you see? I would say some teachers, firstly I would say punctuality. Some teachers, even if they are not well, they still make it a point, they come. Then it is your subject knowledge. The most important thing is your teaching method. Because if somebody has a knowledge, he comes and writes down and just finishes off without caring how many people have understood or not, So a person, if he is interactive, then the class is also attentive. So that teaching method is important. Then fairness. You see, some teachers are very fond of people who are brilliant. But everybody is not brilliant, no? So what happens to the people who are not as good? You can't cope up. Are you motivating? Are you taking care of them? Okay?
Yes, sir.
So that little part you can see. Then you talk about the approachability. You see, is it the class only or beyond that? The other day, one of the students was telling me that he has gone to the limit. That teacher has given them his email ID. People pose the questions and he resolves them. So that is of course one extreme, but generally if a teacher is available beyond class also, there are a lot of people who hesitate. Then what else in a teacher? Some of the teachers you get confidence in. When you have a personal problem, a life related problem, or something related to your, goals in life, you go to a particular teacher only and whom you consider or call as a mentor. So some teachers are mentors also.
Yes.
Then some people you like because of their, very nice and supportive nature. They are always good, charming, and they are, happy-go-lucky. They are not sulking. Some people are always very well dressed. Whatever you like. So bring it out. in a natural way. So if you have two, doesn't matter. One you like because of this, two you like because of this, there can be overriding. It is not necessary that one teacher should be this and the other teacher should be that. Both could be helpful, both could be, caring, both could be motivating. But beyond that, if you find something else, or if they are common, then you can say, I like both because both of them work, and you can add.
Okay, sir.
So subject and teacher is clear.
Yes, sir.
Now we come to your friend circle. Okay, this was appropriately covered. So firstly, you are a friendly person, you have decent circle of friends, and amongst them you have these 4 or 5 as your close friends. Once again, your best friend was the one who's been with you for quite a long time. So you brought out his qualities quite well. Again, you need not bring so many. So you have, main thing is good circle of friends. Second thing is close friends, and amongst them best friends. Now, in the beginning, I had a little doubt about the social factor. So, because your hobbies and interests are all indoor type. So, if you remember, I asked you questions, what happened after, your association in the camp? Did you break up? Did you keep in touch? So, that is natural that you did keep and gradually die down. But that little question was there which I tried to clarify. So you are okay with that because in your routine also then you subsequently brought out that you go and spend time and you go into the canteen having junk food. So that means you have friends and you are socializing in spite of being opinionated. You do listen to other people also. So it's not that. Then the next little bit issue came that it appeared in the beginning that you are reward seeking, that you work hard because you get something in return. So here also, if you remember, we went into debate and then I checked about, is it about the medal you get, about this thing, then again you brought it out, no sir, it's not about that, I like to participate. So that part got again ruled out, but initially I did feel a little bit. So again that was appropriately answered and covered. Your own qualities, well, a lot of good things were brought out, and what they don't like also is okay. Your daily routine and family part is okay. Defense knowledge generally is okay. Just keep yourself a little updated, huh?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. And same goes for general awareness. In the present scenario, whatever we discussed need to be well read. So keep reading the newspaper and keep following. Okay, because the Epstein papers which are coming up now in America, keep a little track on this.
Okay,
What is happening? That could be, unless something with the president emerges, then it could be a serious issue.
yes, sir.
Now, in the end, it was shocking that you have your own opinion, you have only 2 good things about yourself, and you have more than 3 things to improve. How is it possible that you are only confident and you want to learn new things? What happened to the other things? All this while you have been saying, I am happy-go-lucky, I enjoy company, I am cheerful, people enjoy, I am helpful. Your friends told 10 things about you. So you are quite under-assessing yourself. Why?
Sir, I actually thought at that moment that you asked for two things only. So that is why I said two. I've missed
Not
that.
all this while you have been understanding my question. What was my question? From your own assessment of yourself, what do you think are your assets or strong points? How does 2 come into this?
Sir, sorry, sir. I'll keep it in mind during the main interview.
Ah, now tell me.
Sir,
Tell me.
so other than the two I have already told you.
Now start again.
Sir,
What
I
do you
think,
think?
sir, I think I'm a very confident person and I am good at speaking. Like even when I'm nervous, it doesn't really show up on my face that I'm nervous. So other than that, sir, I'm a very friendly person and I tend to make a lot of friends and I'm kind-hearted. people usually become my friend because I am helping them and I am kind-hearted. So other than that, sir, I am keen to learn new things. If I am unable to answer something, I'll go back and I'll search for it, that what was it, and I'll learn about it. Sir, I am also courageous and I do not fear a lot of things. Like, there must be very few things that I am scared of. I am courageous by heart. Other than that, sir, I am like very adaptable into new surroundings. I follow a very flexible timetable so that I am able to adapt in whatever place I am going and according to the time and need.
Okay, so now here 2-3 things more important. One thing is that you have been always talking about your determination factor, that your friends find your goal oriented, you work hard towards achieving your goal. And the most important thing for an officer is the responsibility. Okay, so you have been a house prefect, which shows that you have held some position of responsibility. In your answers related to your family, it looks as if you are running the whole family. So you take a lot of responsibility at home also. So you should definitely call yourself and feel yourself to be a responsible person.
Okay, sir.
And also focused and goal oriented.
Okay, sir.
If he asks you to prove, the NDA itself is one factor, that once you saw that in your class 6 or 7 from where you found that defense has got something which attracts you, thereafter how you worked, how you cleared, that's okay, you didn't make it to the merit, but it was something which came to your mind, you set a goal and you achieved.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so your, if not recommended, again appropriately brought out, not that overconfident or not that, saying, nahi, nahi, ho gayi. So it's okay, and you have done confidently, you prepared and performed well. So obviously you're confident you will also be clearing. And beside that, so this is your passion, you have said not only Navy, you got AFCAT CDS as well. And you must have an alternate goal. So this campus placement was a question mark, but you could justify it because it was clashing with something which is more passionate to you.
Yes, sir.
But you cannot only have this in your mind that I will keep doing SSB and CDS and wasting my life. You must have an alternate goal for which you should be already, or you may be that you are trying. You have done your BTech, you should be applying, you should be looking to take up a job. Because this CDS and AFCAT is not a 365-day effort.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this coaching and all this thing has come now. Earlier days there was nothing like this. People prepared on their own, went, appeared, cleared the written, then some books started coming out, read some book, go and do your SSB, listen carefully to the briefing, get recommended, and if not, then have faith that God destines something better for you. It is not the end of the world.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So with that, we finish. And now, if you have any questions, you can first clarify your doubts.
Sir, at the moment I do not have any question, but by the time other people ask, if I have any, I'll think of it and then I'll ask you.
Even if later you have any question, you can tell sir and you can contact me. I can clear your doubts before you go. But before you go for your SSB, as far as the interview is concerned, there should not be an iota of doubt in your mind.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this will help you to pull up your performance in other fields as well.
Okay, sir.
And that is our aim and aim of this SSB is not only recommendation, we want to see people wearing the uniform. Okay, open to the house if no question from your side.
Yeah, boys, any question?
No, sir.
Online, any questions? Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good day.
Online, any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Offline?
सर ये तो फिर वही बात